Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, good day. According to what time that you're getting this, this is, of course, very off script, very not even called for, not even placed on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter. The fact that I was going to do this, don't even know if it's coming out, but I'm going to do it anyway. One of the things I'm minded of, I'm probably rushing. I have exactly 15 minutes. I actually have my alarm on. So this is something that I'm going to start doing once again. I'm trying to decide whether I'm going to do it once a month or every 2 weeks or every week. It's going to be on Thursdays. It's going to be earlier than now. I think now it's 10:37, so I got to 11:07 to get this in. Hey, Lizette. So I don't know. I'm going to do 15 minutes. So we'll decide however the Holy Spirit leads me. But of course, if anybody's known me for any amount of time, I'm kind of big on leadership. I'm always discussing leadership or watching leadership. Good morning, Pamela. And so what I want to do is in the next few weeks is to generate a thought of whether I'm going to do leadership, be it once a month on these platforms. This is not just for the church. As you can see, this is for all the platforms, or whether I'm going to do it every Thursday. As I said, it'll be earlier than today. Today I'm rushing because if I don't do it, I won't do it. And so I was doing some notations. I said, if I don't get up and get this done, then I'm going to wait another week. And there's going to always be an excuse to come up. So, morning, Shana. So this is not a devotional. This is not a tea time devotional. And I'm sorry. My apologies. Now I got to figure out how to come back on here because I forgot to turn my alerts off. Turn my alerts on. So bear me one moment while I get you guys. There we go. So once my phone rings, it just messes up everything. My iPad, my pad, everything, laptop goes off. And I forgot to do my alerts. So we'll talk to them later. Again, as I was saying, I just wanted to share my goal in life and my things in life and all of my growth in life has been through leadership. And so one of the mandates that God has had on me for years is to develop leaders. And leadership has nothing to do with your position. Leadership, if anybody knows me, is always relational. And I'm always around in my profession. There's people in my profession, outside of my profession, that don't understand leadership. They just understand position. And we have to comprehend the fact that positional leadership is no good. It has to be relational. And then leadership has nothing to do with position, because you can be a secretary and yet you can be the main leader of your corporation. So I'm way beyond the positional thing and how people try to grow things to intimidate people. It's not about intimidation, but in this day and age, whether it's artificial AI, they got all this AI stuff going on, but what we really need is true leaders who will impart, influence, impact, and change the lives of those around them. And so when I look at leadership, and as I said, give me 15 minutes, the gap between successful and unsuccessful people is basically what they believe and who they believe in. But it's mainly our beliefs. The way our beliefs are situated, it holds the effects of the actions we take. So whether we believe in ourselves or whether we believe in somebody else, that literally holds the actions that we take, whether we're leaders or not leaders. So we have to be mindful of our belief in ourselves, our beliefs in others, our beliefs in the ones that we're listening to. So if we look at that, there's three particular beliefs, and I said three, and it probably won't come out to be three, but there's three particular beliefs that make a difference. Of course, the main one is the fact of your perspective. And perspective is literally how you view things. And we all have different varying viewpoints. So how you view things deals with the perspective of things. This shows you how you believe in things, right? So it's kind of like a tongue twister. So basically your perspective, or your perspective belief, if you will, determines how you view things, what you do with that view, and how you're going to do things around or with that view. So how you view things determines how and what you do, right? So it's according to how you look at a situation. It literally determines how and what you do. Now, for most of the people that know me, most of the time I have what I would consider to be a yes perspective. There's no such a thing as no. There's always a yes perspective. Whatever you need, yes. Can I do it? Yes. Am I available? Yes. Why? Because I never know what door is going to open with that belief perspective of everything I can and will be to you is a yes. And I'm always mindful of that. So I live on the side of yes. I don't understand no. I don't understand I can't. It's always a yes. So my belief in viewing things is the fact that it's always a yes. And sometimes we say no, not realizing that yes would have been another door of opportunity for us. So again, it's our perspective of things, how we view things. And we have to also be mindful of the fact that our belief perspective also determines how we lead others, or how we influence others, or how we impact others, right? We have to be mindful of that. Yes, Pamela. We have to be mindful of the fact that our belief determines how we lead others, how we accept help from others, how we grow with others, or how we grow others. It's all dealing with how we impact or how we influence people in our lives, and it deals with our belief. And I'm always mindful of this fact here, is the fact that the people that go first have what we would consider to be the distinction of leaders. People who go first, that literally inspires others, because we have this tendency of everybody sits back and waits to see who's going to do what, or are they going to get corrected for what they did, or we always have this thought in the back of our mind, let's wait and see if someone else takes the first step. Well, the problem with waiting is, they always say wait broke the wagon down. Sometimes you wait too late and you miss an opportunity, right? So one of the things that I watch myself as a leader, one of the things I watch as far as grooming or growing other leaders around me, is I watch who goes first. Because you might think you're qualified by your knowledge, but are you qualified by your actions, right? Because sometimes people think because they have some form of knowledge that they just sit back and wait for people to beg them to do something. Well, but then the greatest person to use is not the one who sits back with their knowledge, but the one who actually takes a step to do something, because action speaks louder than your knowledge, right? So one of the things that we also look at, and one of the perspectives that we pay attention to, at least I do from a leadership perspective, is the fact that the person who goes first, that is normally the leader. And that is the person that you really started feeding, you started equipping, you start influencing, you start building up to be that leadership person. And so again, it's all about the beliefs in the person. So we basically, definitely from a leadership perspective, have to develop a mindset of how can I rather than can I. It's like when a situation comes upon you, are you going to ask yourself, how can I make this work, or how can I work this? Or are you going to ask yourself, can I? Because can I is always a question. Instead of asking yourself, can I, you should ask the question, how can I? In other words, there is a possibility that I have the potential to make sure that this works. So there's always that thought process, that belief process. How much do you believe in you? And how much do you believe in the person that's around you? When you ask that question, or you develop in yourself, the mindset is not can I do something, not can I succeed, but how can I do it? Or how can I succeed? Because within you, there's always the substance, right? Or the availability to do greater things than what you've done. But what happens is sometimes, for some reason, we're around some people or some situations that we don't understand who's really in us, right? And we feel inadequate, or we don't want to get any praise or any acknowledgement. Well, it has nothing to do with your praise or your acknowledgement. It has to do with the fact that you have the potential, if you will, to make an attempt to make something succeed, or make it successful, or make it work. But you'll never do it by asking the question, can I? You'll only do it if you ask the question, how can I? It's kind of like the victor versus the victim mindset. I'm always reminded, I'm going to throw this curve in there real quick. I'm going to throw this curve. I remember years ago as a kid, one of my coaches told me that I would never amount to anything. He said a little bit more than that, but he said I never amount to anything, because I'm always talking trash and joking. And so now 3 doctorate degrees later, Of course, the coach's transition, but what you did was you challenged me, right, to prove to me, not to you, but you challenged me to prove to me the fact that I knew I could do it, right? I knew I could do it. It wasn't a question of, well, do I sit back and ask myself, can I do it? Or do I sit back and say, how can I do it? And I decided to ask my own self, well, how can I change this? Or how can I do this? And how can I get to this level? And how can I operate in that? So again, the belief perspective. And remember this, that also your belief perspective goes before you. It really goes before you. Your belief system goes before you. And according to how your belief system is, if you have a belief system of yes, then your belief system will literally attract others. Now, it's not going to always attract good things, because you have to separate the attraction. Because some people are attracted just to use you, just to misuse you, just to abuse you, right? But then there are those that are really attracted to you because they want what you have, right? And they want to grow where you grow and go where you go. So your belief system goes before you, right? And your belief system has a tendency of attracting others to you. Now, what about these particular leaders that have this perspective of how can I, or the perspective of there's a possibility in everything that I do? What it is about these leaders? These particular leaders are described as being encouraging leaders or passionate leaders, or they're what we call belief magnets. Like, people are drawn to them. People of yes, right? People that believe that they can succeed in anything they put their hand to. They're drawn to these type of belief, these type of leaders that have this type of a perspective of life, that they view in everything they believe or view or look at, they look at it as being possible, right? There's no closed doors. There's only open doors, right? These particular leaders are encouraging, and they're passionate. They're very passionate about what they do. They're very passionate about the lives that they live, and they're very passionate about the people that they associate themselves with. It's your perspective, your belief. It draws people in. So if we also look at that, the fact that you have to be mindful of the fact that belief in yourself, first of all, shall we say, believe in yourself. Good morning, Bishop. First, believe in yourself, and then believe in others. Here's the funny thing. People are really attracted to people who believe in them. And this is in the church or outside of the church. I believe that everybody has the potential of being successful. I believe that because I was considered a migrant worker back in the 70s. I picked oranges, I did watermelons. Kind of odd, right? I come out of private school and moved to the South, and now I'm in the fields, right? I was kind of cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. But I just knew that I had the potential to make myself better, right? And so I also knew that because of where I came from, others had the opportunity to do the same thing. So not only do I believe in myself, but I also believe in those around me. Now, one of the things I noticed is when I was getting prepared to share this, I have this tendency, right, of believing in others more so than they believe in themselves. It's kind of sad, but it's true, right? Because I believe the fact that anybody has an opportunity to be successful in their life. Anybody has an opportunity to be a successful leader. They just have to establish relationships, and they have to believe in themselves. And there's some things that they need to know about themselves so they can grow others around them. And so, again, you have to believe in yourself and then others, and people are literally attracted to people who believe in them. And it has to be genuine, right? People know the game. People don't care what you know until they know that you care. Right. And all the people around me know that I genuinely care. Why? Because my success is their success. See, I don't have success unless those around me are successful. Right. I'm not a successful pastor. I'm not a successful leader. I'm not a successful teacher. I'm not a successful business owner unless those around me are successful. If they're not successful, I'm just taking a walk in the park. Right. And I love walking in the park. I just don't love walking in the park by myself. I love walking in my park with my people, right? And I love them being successful. And I enjoy the fact that I can sit back and watch them grow. That blesses me immensely. Trying not to get emotional, but that blesses me immensely. So again, I love the fact that I believe in myself, and there's nothing that I cannot accomplish. No, because I have that how can I attitude, right? And I have to believe in myself before others believe in me, and I also have to believe in myself before I believe in other people, right? I can't go by what they say. I have to go by what I know in me, right? And I have to supersede all that stuff. So if we look at that, then the fact that when we voice our belief in others, we then make sure that we commit to their success. Now, again, while I'm sharing this, that's right, Bishop. While I'm sharing this, I need for y'all to understand, I am committed to your success. Seems foreign because I'm back doing leadership, because I kept asking the Lord, what are these things that I'm supposed to do? What have you committed to my hand? So, of course, it's teaching. I like teaching the Bible, but he says, relationship from a leadership perspective. That's what I called you to do. So that's why I rushed on here today, because if not, it'd have been another 2 years. So I figured I'd get on in here, jump on in, both feet in. So, and I'm committed to your success. I don't have to know you to show you that I'm committed to your success. You have access to me via social media, however, my phone number's everywhere. I'm committed to your success. Those who are around me that have a desire to grow, they can tell you I will make sure I feed them till they get so overfull they have to feed somebody else. Why? Because I'm committed to your success. What are the beliefs that make a difference? The things that make a difference in your life is the fact that you believe that you can do anything you put your mind to. The fact that the way you look at a perspective, your perspective is how you view things. And we want you to view things in a proper way, right? I just need you to change your viewpoint. I need you to change what you're looking at and how you're looking at it, right? I need you to understand that I'm committed to your success. Bless you, Pamela. I am committed to your success. To death do us part. Success is like a marriage to me. I'm committed to your success. And I'm going to tell you how that becomes a blessing. It's kind of like my covering. I haven't had a covering in years. I've had mentors. All my mentors were not committed to my success. My mentors was committed to me glorifying them. That becomes a whole nother subject, right? But what I love about my covering, my overseer, is the fact that he is committed to my success. And he commits himself to my success, which is astonishing to me because I've always been one that's committed to those around me, to their successes. And they can tell you that. I'm here. I'm here. My phone is on 24/7 because I'm committed to themselves. Look, check it out. If you help others to get a win by seeing the positive side of their potential, this is what you do. There's people around you that just, nanny. But you can always find the positive in somebody's potential. But I'm going to throw a curve now. If they don't see their own potential, it's hard for you to keep pushing them, because eventually they'll have to recognize it themselves. And if they don't recognize it themselves, it's hard for you to push them. Bishop says, yes, Bishop. Bishop, I'm an underdog. So I feel you. I do copy that. I definitely do copy that. And we study pushing, right? So help others to get a win by always seeing the positive in their potential. Always push them to them higher heights and those greater depths. Always show forth who they really are. And be honest. I'm always going to push honesty, because sometimes people look like leadership is a game. People just want somebody to bow down to them. No, we got time for all that. That's subjectiveness. We don't got time for all that. That's positional. That's title. These cats go with entitlement. Entitled. They used to always, I never forget this. I'm going to throw another curve, because I'm always going to commit to the success of others. And that's what I want you to do, is to commit to the success of others. But I never, when I was working in the secular world, right? And I always had a regular labor position, and then I would apply for a leadership position. And every time I would apply for a leadership position, I would outdo the former leader. Or if it was competition, I would outdo them to take their position, if you will. And they used to always say, well, Rev, Pastor, or Doc, Antonio, Mr. Wright, what is it? How do you do this all the time? I said, well, I'm relational. What do you mean? Well, I want to know your birthday. I want to know your children's birthday. I want to go to your children's games. But I'm doing it for real. I'm not doing it for the play. I want to support you, right? I want to build you up. I want to strengthen you, right? I want to project you into your destiny. Right? These are things that I want to do, right? It has nothing to do with me. It has everything to do with you. Why? Because I love doing it. That's my purpose, and I know what I'm called to do. And it's not phony. It's real. I do my last to make sure that you last. That's just the way it is, right? And so they feel it. So how did you get this position? And you're now 22 from being a 14. Well, because I love people and I need for them to be successful. I don't need them to always be a mail carrier. Let me teach you how to be a supervisor, right? Let me teach you how to do this. I don't need to drive the truck. Let me teach you how to drive the truck and start your own business, right? Just start your own business. Let me give you the money to help you do this. Why? Because of my belief. And my perspective is the fact that you have the potential to do anything you want to do. And I'm committed to your success. As I said earlier, right? And I don't know what my laptop is doing. I guess I'm still on. They're verifying stuff and doing stuff. You know, I'm kind of lost on this technical stuff. I'm not the one. I got stuff popping up on my screen everywhere. I don't know if I'm going or coming. I guess my IG is working. Look, all potential and all possibilities are on the other side of yes. If anything, today I need you to have a yes. And always understand this, right? I'm about finished. 15 minutes, I guess. I don't even know what time it is. I think it's 11 o'clock. And I wasn't going to do this much, but I'm going to finish this little 20, 30-minute thing, 15-minute thing, right? You must know yourself to grow yourself. You got to know yourself to grow yourself. You got to know yourself to grow yourself. You got to know yourself to grow yourself. Look, 2 more points. The first one is you got to know yourself to grow yourself. Exactly, Bishop. I always say good leaders lead themselves, teach them. Every great leader teaches himself out of a position, which is basically what you're saying there. Exactly. I agree with you 100%. Look, know yourself to grow yourself. Now, I also want to throw this at you, right? It is a waste of time for you to evaluate. It is a waste of time for you to evaluate your worth by weighing your value by the opinion of those who are around you. It's not going to work. Or it's a waste of time for you to evaluate your worth by weighing your value by the opinion of the people that's in the stands. You know, there's always those people. I remember. I'm not gonna call no names, throw no blames. I remember when the first trucking company I started, the first trucking company. Now, before I started the trucking company, I'd already had a janitorial business. So me and my wife had did a janitorial business, and then I had my own. I had a trucking company with just me. I did that for several years, and then I started another company to where I leased trucks onto my company, and I had like 4 trucks running, right? And I never forget this one particular guy said, "You can't do it, man. It's impossible to do it." And I said, "Why is it impossible?" You know, you always got those people that's telling you you can't do something and they've never done anything. Can I get a witness? There's always those people around you that God or your intestinal fortitude has told you to do something, and they always tell you you can't do it, or they put these extra checks and balances in that you don't need, right? But they always want to do something to prohibit you from doing what you already know you can do. And the problem with this is they've never done anything. It's always the ones that have never done anything. They worked a little government job, they got a little hourly pay, and they had their 401k, and they were satisfied. And as soon as you tell them that you want to start a business or you want to cash in your 401k and invest in the stock market and get some dividends, or you want to start doing, I'm trying to think this other investment I do, and I just lost it just that quick, futures or whatever. The first thing they tell you is no, but they never tried anything. So today, do me a favor, no longer evaluate yourself with the values of others who are sitting on the stands. They've never done anything. They never tried. And you know, you even get it in your government jobs or your whatever kind of secular job you got. You want to move up in the company. You want to do something different in the corporation. And the first thing they do is tell you, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. There's too many problems. And I don't want. And see, they don't never get anywhere. Knuckleheads. Don't do that. Who's in the spectators, agitators, and perpetrators? That'll preach, Bishop. That'll preach. Don't do that. Stay away from that. Your perspective is different. Your viewpoint is different. Your vantage point is different. Don't pay them any attention because all they want to do is sit back and tell you what you can't do because they didn't do it or they were afraid to do it. It's kind of funny. Like I was talking to my grandson this morning. He's going to school for electronics, electrical work, or something. And he's trying to figure out how to do the job and keep the job. I said, many people have gone to school and kept a job. You can do it. You just got to do it. Set your hours straight. You can do it. Your granddaddy did it. I still do it. You can do it. Don't listen to the people that say, well, that's going to be hard. So what? Do it. That's what leaders do. Leaders do it and get through it. So look, I'm going to leave with this here. Never leave something unless you're going towards something. It's a mouthful. Never leave something unless you're going towards something. If you're not going towards something, don't leave something. Never leave something without going towards something. Always be going towards something better than what you have. Never leave something. I'm sitting up and thinking about something dumb. My grandmama told me this. She said, never leave a woman for another woman that's less than the woman you got. My grandmama said, you stupid. Oh, God, she was 92 years old when she said that. She died. She was 104, 102. Yeah, my grandmama told me that. She had me cracking up. That's my girl. Right on, Pamela. That's my girl right there. So check. Never leave something without going towards something. And don't listen to these people that tell you no, the people in the stands, because those are the people that never done anything, never accomplished anything. Right? It's just something that we don't do. So again, keep me in your prayers. Grandma was right. She was. Oh, God. So look, y'all keep me in your prayers. Again, I'm making an attempt to decide whether to do this once a month or every week on Thursday. It's going to be earlier than this. It's going to probably be around 10:30. Exactly. Don't be no free food. You got that right. So you guys, if you have any suggestions, text me, Instagram, shoot me a direct message. Any suggestions, I'll take them all today. I just need to, hopefully this has helped, and I'm going to decide whether to do it once a week or every other week or once a month. So look, I appreciate you guys. As always, I'm Dr. Wright. No, this is the doc. Y'all be blessed and be safe and have a marvelous, thankful Thursday. Peace.